Welcome to a 6-day escape to Vancouver Island, where the journey is as breathtaking as the destination. Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone for today's new adventures taking us to Vancouver Island, a jewel of British Columbia's coast where ancient rainforests, pristine beaches and vibrant communities await. Stretching over 460 kilometers long and 100 kilometers wide, this island paradise is just a whisper away from the mainland city of Vancouver. To reach Vancouver Island, the most iconic path is the ferry voyage from Vancouver's southwestern terminal to Swartz Bay, near Victoria, the island's charming capital. We board the ferry with our car for a 1.5-hour sail through the Gulf Islands, where we glide past many isles under the shadow of distant mountains. Once we disembark on the island, our 6-day adventure will unfold across a tapestry of experiences, from Victoria's historic streets and blooming Butchart Gardens to the wild wave-lashed shores of Tofino, where surfers chase the Pacific swells and old-growth forests will hum with secrets. Whether you want to learn about birds of prey, go on the whale-watching tour in Nanaimo, hike the many stunning trails on offer, or simply visit waterfalls and serene rainforests in provincial and national parks, Vancouver Island is a world unto itself. Victoria, the flower-draped capital of British Columbia, is located on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. This charming city, often called the Garden City, welcomes you with a blend of colonial elegance and coastal allure. We begin our visit at the Inner Harbour, the beating heart of Victoria. Here, the iconic Empress Hotel stands regal, its ivy-clad facade hosting world-famous afternoon teas, while the nearby British Columbia Parliament buildings, with its neo-Baroque architecture, is abuzz with people on this busy Victoria Day public holiday. Tucked just beyond Victoria's bustling Inner Harbour, Fisherman's Wharf is a vibrant floating gem that hums with the salty charm of the Pacific coast. This lively waterfront enclave is a colourful cluster of houseboats, seafood shacks and docks bopping gently on the Salish Sea. From here, we take a scenic water taxi ride back to the downtown area. Back on terra firma, we make our way to Beacon Hill Park, just a few minutes walk from the hustle and bustle of the Inner Harbour. Spanning 75 hectares, this beloved green space established in 1882 weaves together manicured gardens, wild meadows and ancient oak trees standing sentinel over tranquil ponds, offering a serene escape within the city's embrace. Trails meander past stone bridges and bubbling streams, leading to hidden gems like the Moss Lady, a whimsical living sculpture reclining in the shade. The park's iconic Beacon Hill, a gentle rise, offers sweeping views of the Olympic Mountains across the strait, a perfect spot to finish our visit to this stunning park. It is time to make our way back to the inner harbour to enjoy some dinner and the sun setting over this beautiful city. The next morning, we make our way to the Butchart Gardens, located in Brentwood Bay, just 23 kilometers north of Victoria. Born from a vision in 1904, when Jenny Butchart transformed her husband's exhausted limestone quarry into a sunken garden, this 55-acre world-renowned horticultural masterpiece on Vancouver Island has grown into a symphony of colour, fragrance and artistry, drawing visitors from across the globe. As you enter, the garden path unfolds in a breathtaking cascade of blooms with spring tulips and gorgeous flowers carpeting the borders. Winding pathways lead to the serene Japanese garden, where koi glide beneath arched bridges and maple leaves rustle in the breeze, evoking quiet contemplation. The Italian garden, with its manicured lawns and elegant fountain, exudes Renaissance charm, while the rose garden exhibits over 2,500 varieties. Arguably, the main attraction is the breathtaking sunken garden, with its reclaimed quarry walls now draped in vibrant roses, dahlias and seasonal flowers that shift with the seasons. The lookout reveals a stunning view that feels like stepping into a living painting. At the bottom of the switchback staircase are paths winding through beds of annuals, flowering trees and shrubs. A rock mound overlooks the still water of Quarry Lake, lying in a deep pocket of limestone. At the far end of the sunken garden is the Rose Fountain, created and installed in 1964 for the garden's 60th anniversary by Ian Ross, grandson of the Butcharts. Beyond its floral splendor, Butchart Gardens is a sensory journey that we will explore in more details in a future episode. Later that day, we travelled to the Malahat Skywalk, Vancouver Island's newest outdoor jam, opened in July 2021. The path leads to a striking 10-story spiral tower, the first of its kind in British Columbia, rising 250 meters above sea level. From its summit, you are treated to a 360 views of the Salish Sea, Saanich Peninsula, Finlayson Arm, and distant peaks like Mount Baker and the Coast Mountains spanning two countries. On day 3 of our Vancouver Island visit, we embark on a day trip through the wild heart of Vancouver Island with the Pacific Marine Circle route, a 289 kilometer loop that starts and ends in Victoria. This scenic road trip winds through the rugged beauty of southern Vancouver Island, showcasing dramatic coastlines, ancient rainforests, and quaint seaside towns. From Victoria, we head on Highway 14 towards the East Sook Regional Park, where the rainforest meets the sea. As the early morning coolness clings to the rugged shores of Vancouver Island, we get on the winding coast trail to the petroglyphs. Alright, going to the coast trail to the petroglyphs. It is a beautiful sunny morning, quite brisk. May 22nd, 2025. About 8:30 in the morning, about 8 degrees. There we go. On the coast trail to Beachy Head and the petroglyphs. I don't know.
There's a few cars in the car park, so
It's quite possible.
you would assume, yes, eh?
Yeah, you would assume. I'd say it'll get busy on the weekend, but
Make some noise anyway.
yeah. Whoa, bear!
Jesus, you gave me a fight there. Didn't expect it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, there's an albatross or a seagull on the rock there. You're an albatross. Boom, boom, boom. Nah, they look like seagulls to me.
There's the petroglyphs.
There you go. There you go. So we just arrived at the petroglyphs. So let's go in and see where they are. Okay, so we found the first petroglyph. As we continue our day trip along the rugged coastline of Vancouver Island, a hidden gem awaits in Jordan River Regional Park, the Sandcat Beach Trail. We start at the trailhead and step into a world where ancient Sitka spruce and towering Douglas firs stand sentinel. The trail, a gentle 1 kilometer descent, winds through a lush rainforest where moss-draped branches filter sunlight into a soft emerald glow. Then, emerging from the forest's embrace, we are greeted by the untamed beauty of Sandcat Beach, a sweep of smooth pebbles and driftwood framed by dramatic cliffs and the endless churn of the Juan de Fuca Strait. Here, where waterfalls carve delicate channels into the sandstone and tide pools teem with life, the trail whispers a story of timeless wonder, inviting you to pause, breathe, and become part of its tale. Leaving Sandcat's pebbled beach for the quaint, vibrant township of Cowichan Bay, we turn onto the Pacific Marine Circle. After a couple of hours' drive, the road dips and curves towards the shimmering expanse of Cowichan Bay. Here, the township emerges, a charming cluster of colourful houseboats, artisan shops, and waterfront eateries nestled against the bay's gentle curve. On day 4, we start our journey from Victoria to Ucluelet, a winding odyssey through Vancouver Island's rugged beauty, where each stop unveils a new facet of the island's charm. Setting out from Victoria, we head north on Highway 1, a drive roughly 300 kilometers long that weaves through dense forests, past misty mountains, and along the wild Pacific coast, with stops that punctuate the trip like chapters in a well-loved book. First, we arrive at Niagara Falls, not the thundering giant of Ontario, but Vancouver Island's own, tucked near Gulfstream Provincial Park, just 20 minutes from Victoria. Here, the falls cascade 27 meters down a rocky gorge. A short trail through towering Douglas firs leads to the viewpoint, where the roar of the falls drowns out the world. It's a quick soul-cleansing pause, the air cool and heavy with a scent of damp moss. Pushing north, the road unfurls towards Duncan, where the Raptors, a bird of prey rescue and education centre, awaits.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Yeah, they're really, really pretty. They have kind of like that copper red, orange on their wings. He's quite blotchy on his chest right now because he is so young.
Yeah.
When he becomes like more of an adult, he'll actually solid out there, and he'll kind of match kind of the darker browns on his body, and then he'll like get a bit more like red on his wings as well. Mesa, let's go!
I'm coming.
Oh, yay! Yeah, that's one of my favorite features about Basil is like you might not be able to see him, but you can for sure hear him.
He's gorgeous.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, the Harris Hawks have a special spot in my heart. They were one of the very first birds I worked with here at the Raptors. And that's when they start to get this white-headed tail, but sometimes it can take a total of 8 years to fully gain it. Now this white-headed tail is a sign of maturity. So it helps to show all the other bald eagles in the area that Hercules, he is big, he is strong, he survived long enough by himself, he'd be a good provider for a mate and some babies. Good job, Hercules. Now we are called the Raptors, and that's because the majority of the birds that we fly and work with are raptors just like Hercules. So not only do they have amazing personalities, very big personalities, and they're very intelligent, they can have friendships, they can form enemies, they can even solve puzzles and mazes. But what vultures do for our ecosystem is even more important. So Judge, he still eats meat, but he doesn't catch or kill anything for himself. So what might he be considered? It starts with an S. So again, when they're eating all of this rotting meat, anything that's in that dying animal. So yeah, sadly poaching of those elephants is going to attract a lot of vultures. Now there's a poaching event that happened in Botswana about 5 summers ago now, where 3 elephants were poached. They weren't found until 8 days by rangers, and when they were found, about 537 vultures were also found dead. 3 species even went locally extinct. Hi, Rear! Thank you! I know, it's scary up here. His first owl superpower are those big, beautiful eyes. So owls have very, very large eyes in comparison to their skull. So if we had the same size as owls, we'd either have grapefruits or oranges in our head. So this is Theodin, or Theo. So he is still a falcon. He's got those beautiful pointed wings, and he is an ophthalomato falcon. So a very small cousin to the peregrine and the gyr falcon. Now ophthalomatos are not a species we find here. They're actually from Argentina, Mexico, kind of that range. But we do work with Theo here because it's really cool to kind of show people what other species of raptors live in the rest of the world.
Further along, near Coombs, the whimsy of goats on the roof steals the show. This quirky market, crowned with a grass roof where goats munch contentedly, is as much as a spectacle as it is a pit stop. The wooden buildings brim with local cheeses, fresh bread and oddities like maple syrup from the mainland. It's a light-hearted interlude, the kind of place that feels like a secret only locals share. As we near Cathedral Grove in Macmillan Provincial Park, the mood shifts. The forest looms, ancient and sacred, its massive Douglas firs and red cedars stretching skyward, some over 800 years old. We tread softly, dwarfed by trees wider than cars, their roots sprawling like the veins of the earth. It's humbling, a reminder of time's slow march. Finally, the road bends west towards Ucluelet, a coastal township cradled by the Pacific. This picturesque town greets us for the night with its rugged charm. Think weathered docks, cozy cafes, with that wild Pacific coast laid-back feel. In the morning, we leave Ucluelet for Tofino, just 40 kilometers north along Highway 4, a winding journey through a landscape of dense temperate rainforest, the road hugged by towering cedars as we cruise past glimpses of the Pacific. The 35 minutes drive feels like a portal to a wilder world, with the anticipation of Tofino's laid-back surf vibe pulling us forward. Our first stop is downtown Tofino, a compact cluster of weathered wooden buildings radiating coastal charm. We head to the Tofino Pier, where fishing boats bob gently in the harbour. The water reflects the blue sky and its whimsy-clad formations that look picture perfect. The pier's wooden planks creak underfoot and we breathe in the mix of seaweed and diesel, a sensory snapshot of this working waterfront. Long Beach in Pacific Rim National Park Reserve is a must. We park and step onto the vast stretch of sand where waves roll in relentlessly, frozen white against the shore. The beach seems endless, framed by driftwood and backed by dense forest. We stroll along the water's edge, the rhythmic crash of surf drowning out the world. A few surfers brave the chilly waves in the distance. The wind carries a tang of salt and we feel the raw, untamed energy of the Pacific. From Long Beach, we venture to the Rainforest Trail Loop A, a short drive away. This 1 kilometer loop plunges you into a cathedral of green. Ancient cedars loom overhead with their trunks draped in moss like emerald tapestries. The boardwalk beneath our feet is slick with mist, guiding us past ferns and fungi thriving in the damp shade. The air is thick with the earthy sense of decay and growth, and the silence is broken only by the occasional drip of water and the distant call of a raven. Next, we head to South Beach, a 1.5 kilometer trail through more rainforest leading to a secluded cove. The path is rugged, roots and rocks underfoot, but the payoff is worth it. South Beach greets you with dramatic cliffs and crashing waves, pebble clattering with each surge. We pause to take in the raw beauty, the ocean's roar, a constant companion. It's a place that feels like the edge of the world. Back in Ucluelet, we capped the day with the Wild Pacific Trail, specifically the 2.6 km lighthouse loop to Amphitrite Point. At Amphitrite Point Lighthouse, a squat white beacon stands resolute against the wind, its red roof a pop of color against the blue sky. We take in the views, watching the distant horizon merge with the ocean, the lighthouse a quiet sentinel over the wild coast. The trail winds along cliffs, offering sweeping views of the Pacific's endless expanse. Waves lap against jagged rocks below, sending spray skyward. A great end to a great day. As late afternoon approaches, we reluctantly climb back into the car for the 2.5-hour drive to Nanaimo. The road winds through forests and past lakes, the day's adventures settling into memory. The journey has been a vivid tapestry of Vancouver Island's west coast. Early next morning, we make our way to the port of Nanaimo, a vibrant coastal hub on Vancouver Island with its scenic waterfront and charming promenade that serves as a perfect getaway to our planned marine excursion with Vancouver Island Whale Watch. As we had a bit of free time before sailing off, we took a stroll along the seawall where colourful shops and cafes frame views of the shimmering water. The port's rich history as a trading and fishing hub is noticeable, with interpretive signs detailing its indigenous and colonial past. Today we will embark on an open boat tour to witness the awe-inspiring orcas in their natural environment, delving into their world with our expert guide Des, who will illuminate the lives of these magnificent creatures. On an adventure. Yay! It is now time to board the Zodiac, its small capacity ensuring an intimate experience far from the crowded decks of larger vessels. The boat skims across the water, the wind in our faces as we leave Nanaimo's harbour behind.
But the orca can go on dives for up to 20 minutes at a time. That's usually only if they're hunting. They're quite underwater for a long time. Normally, a dive for them is around 4 to 5 minutes. So it looks like these guys are on a little bit of a dive at the moment. Then once they pop up, we'll be able to reorient ourselves around them. And these guys are very, very intelligent. So they are, although they are whales, they are actually the largest member of the dolphin family. So I really just can't stress enough how smart these guys are and how important these little family units are to them, and the culture that goes along with the various pods that we have here. So it's pretty common to see pods traveling together, like we've got the 101s and the 86As. And so once the hunt is kind of happened, the majority of it here, that's when we often see some more interesting behavior as well. And so because these guys like to hunt together and it's a cooperative effort, often they will celebrate after a hunt. Once they've got nice full bellies, they get pretty excited, and that's when we start to see some of that more exciting kind of surface behavior as well. So another way we can tell the age of the babies is not actually by the size of them, but by the color. And so when orca babies are born, they actually come into this world a bright orange color. They are orange and black, like a Christmas or like a Halloween Oreo, if you will. And so the reason that they are this color is when they're born, they don't have a lot of fat on their bodies. They can travel up to around 100 kilometers a day. And have even been on really kind of pushing their limits, will go around 150. Orcas are highly regarded because they're very much like ourselves, so they're seen as kind of protectors, as you know, the king of the ocean, and they're known for their very strong family ties as well. So they're very respected in local indigenous culture. And so it's believed that if you're lost at sea, that your body is dragged to the bottom of the ocean by the orca, and you are reincarnated as such, especially if you are an important figure to the community, so you know, a figurehead in the tribe. And so legend says that if you are lucky enough to see the orca from the shoreline, it's that they are coming back to visit their family members who are still alive.
Very interesting.
Yeah. It's very lovely. So the best way to tell if you're looking at a seal or a sea lion is to look at the shape of that nose, especially when they just see heads in the water like this here. So these guys have a very upturned nose. It's heart-shaped, just like a pit bull, whereas our other sea lion friends are a lot more whiskery with a bit more of an elongated snout.
On our return to Nanaimo, we spotted playful seals basking on rocks, but sadly we didn't encounter any humpback whales on this tour. After some late lunch, we take a drive to Qualicum Beach, just 48 kilometers north of Nanaimo. Qualicum Beach is a coastal gem renowned for its pristine shoreline and vibrant natural beauty. This is a place where the rhythm of the tides and the calls of coastal birds create a symphony of nature. The Face Mist Pavilion, an interpretive site near the waterfront, provides insight into the migratory Brent geese that frequents the area, but today the stars of the show are the bald eagle and the sandhill crane we spotted on the beach. Just a short drive from the serene Qualicum Beach shoreline, Little Qualicum Falls Provincial Park offers a breathtaking escape into the heart of Vancouver Island's wilderness. The trailhead begins near the parking area of Little Qualicum Falls. The Lower Falls Loop Trail, a popular choice suitable for hikers of all skill levels, leads us to a series of well-maintained gravel paths wooden bridges and gentle inclines most of the way. The afternoon timing enhances visibility with the sunlight filtering through the canopy of Douglas fir and western cedar. The trail's highlight is the lower falls, where the little Qualicum River cascades over a rocky ledge into a deep turquoise pool framed by moss-covered cliffs. From the eagle-filled skies of Qualicum Beach to the thundering waters of the falls, this late afternoon adventure captures the essence of Vancouver Island's wild heart. As the last day of our Vancouver Island adventure drew to a close, the rugged beauty of this Pacific paradise lingered in our hearts. This morning, under a canopy of grey, showery skies, we rolled our car onto the BC ferry at Nanaimo. As we pulled away from the dock, Vancouver Island faded into the mist, its emerald forests and rocky shores a fleeting silhouette against the horizon. Thank you so much for joining us on the channel today and for watching.